become a relevant youth. BARY.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever you're watching me from. My name is Femi, and I welcome you to another episode of BARY with Femi. And it's a great privilege to have you with me today. Today, we will continue from where we stopped in our last episode, where we started talking about how to become relevant, how to discover purpose in life. The first of which is through the consistent and persistent desires that God puts in our heart. The truth of the matter is, God created everyone for a purpose. There is a reason for the creation of every human being on earth. And in discovering the purpose that God has created you for, it takes only God to bring you to that consciousness. And one of the ways God brings us in line with the purpose that He has created us for is through the desires that He puts in our heart. No matter how much we suppress them or ignore them, they never go away. And that is a signpost. Now, to buttress more on that, I want you to know that these desires that God puts in our heart have two extremes. Number one is that you can have a desire for something, and you can have a desire against something. You can have a desire to build up, and it can be a desire to pull down. It can be a desire to promote good, and it can be a desire to eliminate evil. It can be a desire to bring about solution and to cause things to happen. And it could be a desire to stop things from happening, especially things that are not good, of course, things that are evil. So these are two extremes. It's either love or hatred. So for today, I will just focus on the first aspect of it, which is the love aspect of desire. And one of the ways you know what you love, one of the major ways, is when you're still willing to do it without any reward, any motivation, no recognition, no reward, no monetary benefit, but you still do it. Now let me ask you a question. If all the profession in this world were to be paid the same amount, all the jobs in this world, be it a president, a governor, a teacher, a pastor, a doctor, a surgeon, a lawyer, an accountant, a banker, a cleaner, a janitor, a bricklayer, a carpenter, a plumber, if all these jobs were to be paid the same amount of money, maybe $10 for example, if all the jobs were to be paid $10, what would you still be willing to do? What would you still do if money was not a motivation? Whatever you decide to do, certainly must be something you love to do, because it's not about money anymore. It's what is in your heart, what you are passionate for. This is a way to know what God has put in your heart. Well, number two way to know what really God has put in your heart, which has to do with what you love, is that you want to be better at it. Whatever you're doing that you love to do, you will want to develop in it. You want to be more effective at it. And that is it. If it's teaching, you want to teach. You want to know. You want to learn more on how to teach. If it's medicine, you want to learn all there is to it. If it's law and defending people, you want to know better. If it's singing, if it's teaching, if it's speaking, if it's pastoral, whatever it is, if it's politics, you want to know how to be the best at it. These are signs that you have found something you love. Now, I've only talked about one side of it, which is love. Next week, I'm going to talk about the place of anger, because just as powerful as love is, so also is your anger. So we'll talk about that in our next episode. But I want to leave this with you today, that there's no great person on this planet Earth, there's no successful people living or dead, that has ever succeeded doing any other thing than what they love to do. All great successful people always excel because they found something that they are willing to do beyond the motivation of money, reward, or recognition. They love it. And because they love it, they strive to be the best in it. So it's not about money. Money may come, all these things may come, but those were not the motivation. They come, but they are not the motivation. And so that is how you know what you have been called to do. That's how you know what God has put in your heart to do. I strongly hope that you've learned one or two things from what I said today. And if you have any questions, any comment, kindly put them in the comment section. And I want you please to kindly share this message with every young person that you know. Share it abroad, share it with your friends, and let them learn from what we've just talked about, because it will be a benefit to them and to their future. I look forward to meeting you again and again and again in our next episode. And I kindly ask you one more time to share this message, share this video with every young person that you care about. And you will be glad you did. All right. So God bless you real good today. And I pray that you will come to that consciousness. You will come to the consciousness of what God has put in your heart, of the desires that God has put in your heart, of that thing that of the passions that God has placed in your heart, towards the discovery and the pursuit of your purpose in life. In Jesus' name. I thank you for listening to me today, and I look forward to seeing you next time. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Become a relevant youth. BARY.